Before his summit with President Yoon, Irish leader Leo Varadkar spoke to our presidential correspondent Oh Soo-young on how the 40-year relations between the two countries can further flourish based on their common values. Here's our exclusive interview with the Irish Prime Minister.
Ireland is keenly seeking a greater partnership with South Korea based on their values of freedom and innovation amid complex global challenges. That's according to Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar in an interview with Arirang on Friday. Varadkar's working visit to Seoul marks the first trip by an Irish head of state in the history of their bilateral relations, which stretch back 40 years. The Irish PM highlighted the two republics' shared values, particularly under the Yoon administration, as they collaborate closely in tackling climate change, global insecurity, and threats to democracy.
Given the rapidly changing geopolitical dynamics that we're seeing, including the European Union's sort of change of approach to the Indo-Pacific, you've actually updated your Asia-Pacific strategy. So in what ways do you see opportunities and also challenges for both Ireland and South Korea?
Well, I think fundamentally the world is changing. The economic and political power is less concentrated in Europe and America and is now more multipolar. Asia being hugely significant politically and economically, much more so than would have been decades ago, but also a more dangerous world. You know, we see what's happening, for example, in the Middle East at the moment, the conflict in Ukraine, other parts of the world where there are potential flashpoints. And that's why I think countries that do very similar values need to work together, and the European Union and Korea have very similar values around free enterprise, around free trade, around democracy and human rights, and we really need to strengthen that relationship, and we're very keen as Ireland to be part of that.
Well, you actually visited the demilitarized zone yesterday, which is the border area between South and North Korea. So I'm wondering what was running through your mind at that moment, and also how you're planning to collaborate with South Korea for regional security, especially when it comes to peace on the Korean Peninsula.
Well, it was fascinating to visit. In many ways, it's a misnomer, demilitarized zone, because it is, of course, heavily militarized and heavily fortified. And I think one of the best ways that we can work together, Ireland and Korea, is through the United Nations in particular. And even as we speak, Irish and Korean troops are serving together in South Lebanon, which is a very dangerous place at the moment, but have been there helping to keep the peace there.
Particularly as President Yoon Suk Yeol pushes for global solidarity for peace, development and climate action. Varadkar said he hopes the two republics can also work together to increase multilateral cooperation and institutions as middle power countries.
We're relatively small countries, albeit with big economies and a lot of trading influence. And for countries like ours, we'll do best in a world that is rules-based, that has institutions that function, that it's not just the really big countries that make all the decisions or those countries with massive military economic power.
The Irish leader further highlighted new emerging industries, including renewable energy and digital technologies, as key areas of win-win partnership between the two leading IT nations.
I think one is certainly energy, and Korea is at the forefront in terms of making that green transition towards renewable energy and battery storage. Some investments by Korean companies happening in Ireland. We have very ambitious plans to increase the amount of renewable energy we produce, and nearly half of all cars now being sold in Ireland are either electric cars or hybrids, and Hyundai and Kai are among the main companies selling cars into Ireland. So I think.
Noting that he loved Korean dramas and films like Squid Game, Varadkar noted that the two countries will increase people-to-people exchanges for more collaborations in culture and innovation.
Korean culture really has grown, I think, around the world, and you know, Ireland wouldn't have been very exposed to it maybe 20 years ago, but now people really are. So it's great to see the country spreading its wings in the way it has.
Right, thank you very much for your time, Dr. Varadkar.
Thank you.